All right, I've got one fight left. It's the final boss, a 7-star Maestro. It's Yusafa's Maestro. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time for the final war of the season. Now I'm going to show you some things set this war up. If you're not interested in seeing that, you just want to get straight to the fights, there will be a timestamp in the description. You can jump straight to it, but trust me, I think you're going to want to see a little bit of this. We have SSX versus 4Loki, both alliances from an attack like value or attacks or whatever, the attack bonus standpoint, have been having a phenomenal season. We've been losing wars 2-1, 3-2, this sort of thing. It's been a phenomenal season. We both need the win to stay into Masters. I think there's a chance one of us, whoever wins this, can go into top 10. And the loser, unfortunately, really very much looks like they will fall out of Masters altogether. It's just the margins are razor thin. I am taking up what I'm showing you here right now is I'm taking up my 6-star Photon to rank 5. That's how important this war was. There's like, let's leave this all out on the battle realm. I have a 7-star Awakened that I will be taking to rank 3. That is my plan. Yes, over America Chavez for a variety of reasons. We'll get to that when we get to it. And I'm going to have 6 fights. By the time I was able to enter this war, you will see 4Loki had I can't even talk. That's how excited I am. They had a large lead on us. This is the team I'm getting to enter it in. I have 6 fights, including the boss, a mini boss, fights where the defenders I know are going to be unblockable, and one where I did not know they were going to be unblockable. Here we go. Okay, so I've taken Photon as a 6-star to rank 5. Like, this is why I have the resources. This is what I love about this game, on top of many other things. We're going in here. This is going to be our first fight up against this Ebony Maw. You can see I'm going to check the score. I've said that before. I do better when there's pressure. It helps me just kind of like take it more seriously. I don't know how else to put this. So Photon is phenomenal. As you know, I've been calling her a perfect champion for a long time in a game like this. She's not the best offensive champion, far from it, but she's a phenomenal defender, and she has enough in her kit offensively that she can be used, and here you're going to see a lot of it. Now, the tactic's going to ramp her damage, so keep that in mind. But the basics, the abilities are staying the same. So here we go. We're going to land a heavy, which she can do. She can parry those non-contact attacks. Really nice. Land the heavy, and you're like, what's that debuff? That is a Sunder debuff. It takes the crit resistance, if I'm totally sure on it, to 0. So good for Rintra, good for Doom, these sorts of champions that have this like really large crit resist. And we're just essentially going to go in. All these attacks are putting debuffs on. I think every attack except for the last one in a 5-hit combo, if I remember correctly. It's your first medium, and then I think your third light attack. So we've got a ton of them, and we'll talk more about them in the fights where they matter more. This was definitely the easiest fight for me of the war. You can see how quickly we got it done. Like I said, the tactic ramps her significantly. When the tactic is gone, you will not see this. I want to make that abundantly clear, because I know we've been seeing her in tactic fights with war attacker tactics, and when she's not in that, it's going to decrease significantly. Okay, folks, so please don't go ranking her up just on that. Do it for all the wonderfulness that is there. Here was my first surprise of the war. We've got this aggression prowess, insurance policy, combat power rate, and the critical setup. Now, I've been talking to you about Iron Man, how amazing I think he is, and he's massively underrated. I did a war video this season talking about I think he's insanely underrated. I do not think he's a 1-for-1 Nimrod replacement, but we're likely never going to see a 7-star Nimrod. At least it's going to be a long time, in my opinion. And for where the game is and it's headed, Iron Man's phenomenal. I really want him as a 7-star, even though I've got the maxed out 5-star. So here we go. This is the important part, and this is what I did not clock very well, is the interaction between the two parts of the node. If the attacker removes prowess effects from the defender will get a flourish buff, increasing the combat power rate by 25%. That's a lot. And for some reason, I did not think through the first part of the node, which is every 2 seconds, the defender will gain prowess. Cool. But when the defender struck, remove a stack. I thought it would only be when I threw my specials. And I had that invalidate. So I was going to play this just really chill, really slow, get to my SP2, block bait Kitty here, don't stun her, and we would keep her prowess in check and be fine. Like, I really did not think this was going to be that tough of a fight. The only reason I put the indestructible on, and I'll admit it, you know me, I'll probably tell you this stuff, is the only reason I did is just because I knew the gravity of this war. I knew how important this war was. Tons of friends in 4Loki, friends in SSX. I'm not the only person with a ton of friends in 4Loki. A ton of us do, and vice versa, back and forth, but everyone wants to win, okay? And I'm starting to kind of clock that this is not what I signed up for. And you can see it. I was late on the heavy punish, and then I mess up there, attack into the face. And I'm now realizing that her combat power rate is significantly accelerated. And I'm having to very much in the moment clock through, like, what am I going to do? I was pretty sure I still had a hit on my indestructible left. And I was like, I think I'm going to use that to my benefit here. I need to wait for her phase to go down, and I'm pretty sure I intercept with a special there. Yeah, I guess it's not an intercept, but heavy punish, what have you. And I'm trying to just kind of wait out this combat power rate, and I'm like, I can't get hit, because if I need to send her to an SP3, I think I'm fine. I honestly, right there, thought that my striker, the spirit gauge, would fill, and I could use that, go into my SP1 and finish the fight. Very much sweating bullets at this moment. I was pretty sure I was fine, but it looks like it did damage, so I don't think I did have a hit in my indestructible left. Come out of it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. You can see I'm not like playing that great, but that's fine. Throw my SP2, she parries it. Again, I'm not worried though. Iron Man's so tanky, like, you know, I showed you the gameplay on it and what his attacking abilities could do. I talked about how tanky he was. Well, there you go. I'd love to say I intentionally did that so you could see it, and why another reason why I value him so much. But again, honesty, forthrightness. All right, that kind of knocked the cobwebs out for me, and that was good. Moving on to this next fight here. This is section 2, lane 4. SETI build up unblockable, special burst lockdown. I'm going to go in, I'm going to use my Iron Man. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep all the prowess in control. So what? It doesn't matter. I even did a duel when you armor break Iron Man. It just places up one iron break. It doesn't remove all his armor ups. I'm like, this is going to be easy cheesy, like easy cheesy lemon squeezy. We're fine. We are fine. No big deal. The next fight was one that I dueled over and over, really talked through with all the planners on how to take it. No concerns. I did happen to notice that my battle group planner Nearwin wrote using invulnerability on the notes, and I was like, seems really unnecessary, but sure, let's go ahead. Keep in mind, and as some of you are like, did you not read the whole note? That when Havoc gets 3 unique debuffs on me, he will go unblockable. Well, I have an armor up buff, which means I won't get any of that that plasma damage, I guess, or the explosion, or detonation, but I'm still going to get the debuffs. So here we go. So I get that parry off right away, and I'm feeling totally fine. I'm feeling totally good. Looking back, what I definitely should have done was not let him throw his SP1. I should have played this like a champ fight where Havoc does not, or where you do not have a bar, an armor up. You know what? You force him to his SP2, you bait those, you punish the heavies over and over. I did not do that, and now there's nothing I can do. Okay, because I'm not going to be able to get all these debuffs off of me. Because I couldn't think of a way in the moment, and I can't think of one now. There might be one. But, so I was like, okay, fine. We have an unblockable Havoc. I know how tanky our Iron Man is, and he can block unblockable specials. Not all unblockable specials from a mutant. So I was like, all right, that's fine. We've just got an unblockable Havoc, and his specials aren't unblockable. I'm going to still try to parry him. So right there, parry, we get the armor up pause. So we're going to build up our armor ups. And let's get to our special 2, baby. Like, this is going to be a-okay. We just got to keep calm. We just got to keep calm. And I'm really happy as I watch this back, like how we're doing. You can see we're heal blocked, so we're not getting a bunch of willpower healing. And we're doing a-okay. Might as well go for these draft back intercepts and things like that. He's unblockable anyway. So might as well do what I can to continue pushing him over 1 bar of power. So yeah, and head into his block. Give him power that way. He's got a natural power gain anyway, right? We know how frustrating that is when Havoc's sitting there and just won't throw his special, but his power's growing. But we're fine. We're really fine. I'm actually really happy watching this back. I've kind of watched these fights back, but I wanted to experience this because this is such an exciting war. And Iron Man does so much damage. You can see, like, once I realized what was going to happen in the interaction between the fight, there was no problem in this fight whatsoever. Iron Man just handles it. I could play pretty aggressively because he's tanky as heck. We're not losing our armor ups, right? We're not losing all of them from the single armor break. And we can block the unblockable specials if we want to try to pause our armor ups. It was great. I was really, really proud of that fight. All right, now we're moving on to the next one. This is the one that I dueled a lot. I really talked, and it's for a variety of reasons. So first of all I was very concerned that on this one, shockingly, that I would have an unblockable Werewolf by night. Additionally, I haven't fought him in war. He's very new to the game. I just have never taken him in war. So I'm going to go in with my Photon. Now, here's the whole plan here. The plan was, despite Werewolf having the ability to place a rupture through block, The plan was actually to power start 1, power back boost. Because of the tactic, Photon's damage will be ramped significantly. And then even though this is steady unblockable, painful retreat, all this, it's clear that he's going to go unblockable. But if I start with the heavy, if I start with the parry, then the heavy, I just need to make sure I land that parry. Then I will get the slow, also from the tactic, up on Werewolf, could help him later if he goes unstoppable due to his own mechanics. And then I'm going to bait the special 1 and punish it over and over and over. Fortunately, kind of cool. Actually, I got to start with a ramped up Photon. She's a ramp up champion. So from the first fight, I started with like 19 of her charges. So we've gone into that pure light. There's the unblockable. I knew that was going to happen. It's fine. I practiced his SP1 evade many, many times. And I'm just going to throw this. You can see the power back boost. They're doing a nice job of getting this topped off. And I'm going to go back in and you're going to see me do some draft back intercepting right there, like I did. It's very nice because, you know, we could get hit regardless, but it also gives me a better chance of pushing Werewolf over a bar of power. And additionally, when Photon is stunned, she goes untouchable for I think like 2.5 seconds. So you're going to see this in the following fight too. And I'm very, very aggressive. I'm not as worried about being parry stunned or something like that, as long as he doesn't have a bar of power. And you can see I was very happy with how that fight went. There was a really nice flow. I believe it was Bean showed me a nice outline for it. Odysseus, DLL, Nah, Simula, so many people. I'm sure I forgot a couple people really pitched in on like, okay, here's how we think you should take this fight. Here's how it should go. Have some backup plans in case it goes sideways. Really, really great team effort there. Of course, my planners, Nearwin, TJ, and Bitter Steel. And then, of course, we're having some fun. And like I said, this is just the war is actually still going on. I had a phenomenal, phenomenal time. And you can see us all kind of cheering each other on, right? And people are joking about smart to fight the werewolf during the day. And this feels like a good time to add in some added things to it. Is one of my alliance mates had let me know that they really did not believe that they would be able to get their fights in until the following morning, which would have left me about 45 minutes to get in the fight you're about to see and the boss fight before the war would end. Not the pressure that I really wanted, but at the same time, they just couldn't do it. There's no sense in telling them like, no, you got to find a way. I mean, what are you supposed to do? But apparently some of the other guys were able to figure out some ways to clear and to get some pre-fights on, which were pretty important. And they're like, we got you, Vega. We're going to get this done today. So that's why we went ahead and pushed forward. You can see the score. Like I said, I like to see the score. It helps me. We are up considerably on attacker kills, but we were behind on defender kills. And that's what's really going to matter here. And as we've talked about in my previous videos, everyone matters. If we can keep the pressure on them, then they're more likely to have our defenders step up, maybe get a kill and that sort of thing. So every attacker kill really matters at this point, right? For Loki's phenomenal. They're going to do amazing. We're going into this fight here against Hulk. Now, I dueled this one before too. You've seen me take Hulk quite a few times this season with Masakre, and I've used the Alliance War attacker tactic against Hulk, who has the defender tactic, to keep us unstoppable at bay, right? We're constantly knocking him down with Masakre's bat. Well, I'm going to do essentially the same thing here, except we've now got the White Mags pre-fight, and one of the things that makes this node a little tricky is it has conflictor. So every time we're supposed to place a prowess, right, or a debuff, he would shrug it essentially and gain 75% of a bar of power. Well, the attacker tactic puts on a wither, and I really hadn't calculated that into my thoughts on how this fight would go. Plus, Photon has a petrify. So watch what happens when she's landing her her debuffs, right? She has so many debuffs. So this would only happen every 7 seconds. Well, watch what happens and watch Hulk's power bar actually go down. I was not prepared for that. Just like I was not prepared for the Unblockable Havoc or the Kitty Pride fight. I had not clocked fully how this fight would go. I knew that she would blunt his power gain from it because of that passive petrify. DLL even talks about that in his Spotlight with Context video. He's the designer of this, of Photon. And then right there, you're seeing, I would punish that SP1 anyway, but you're seeing me even go for wake up intercepts. So yeah, good, I did it there. I know I'd land a couple more, which is when I am going to attack the defender before they can wake up, because he didn't have a bar of power. So I'm not worried. Even if he parry stuns me, what's he gonna do? Hit into me? He has no anti-miss. He can't do anything about it. I really relaxed on this fight considerably once I realized he was losing power. It meant I needed to evade his SP1, but that's really just about being kind of on your toes, so to speak, or really paying attention and even blocking it if you need to, because it can do a lot. You see, I had the untouchable there. He hit into it. He misses. We're throwing our SP2s. We're throwing our SP1s, and I'm making sure I continue to knock him down. Interesting. That kind of gives you an idea on her damage. Like, it is very good. Don't get me wrong. But Masakre was tearing through Hulk's health even faster than that. And that's with them both, you know, her getting a damage increase from the tactic and Masakre not really. But I don't know. It's cool. I just like pointing out how great Masakre is. So all right, I've got one fight left. It's the final boss, a 7-star Maestro. It's Yusafa's Maestro. As I continue to check the score for all the reasons we've already talked about, it's time to go in. Now, you've seen me die once to this fight and then solo it and finish it off the other time. So I'm excited and pumped up to use Kushala. It just feels fitting, the champion that I got to help, you know, I'd be part of, not help, with my dear friend DLL. I love this character from the comics, and then having her brought to the game, I went out and got her and took her immediately to rank 3. And now we're going to get to use her for in my opinion, the toughest boss fight. I've seen this fight go sideways so many times. Prince Yossi just made it look easy, really lulled us into a false sense of security on how fast this could go or how well it could go. And here we are. We need this. We need a solo. So I know a lot of people are watching when we go in. And I'm going in to take Yusafa's, right? And I'm like, somehow this guy probably has a rank 4 Maestro. See, it's a rank 2. I've been fighting rank 3s the rest of this time. And like, I was already very confident, and you know, I want that pressure. I enjoy that pressure. It's part of what I love about war. And I saw it was a rank 2, and I was like, thank you, whoever made the deals for Cyber Weekend. Because if it had been possible to get another rank 3, I guarantee this would be a rank 3 Maestro. And even if you play this fight well, it can go wrong for you. So that was really nice to see. Still very difficult because there's so many mechanics from this fight, and you can't really use, you can see all my boosts. I decided to even make myself laugh with a 75% XP boost. My whole goal here, and we've talked about this, right? And I'm going to get out the essentials video on Kushala, the how to play her. I've done so many videos, though, long form, short form, boss fights, war, hazard shift. And here we go. We're going to do our best to work in a lot of that knowledge. If I can get up all 3 of her blessings, I will, but one of them is going to require an intercept. I will do my best to either, if it just feels like it's in the flow, like it's just happening, I will go for it. But I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force it. I'm going to parry him as much as possible, even though I know he will not get stunned. And I'm going to heavy him. 1, to knock him down, to hopefully hope with that neutronium timer that he has and try to delay that as long as I possibly can. But also to get up all of my blessings. Those are those passes in the upper left-hand corner. If I can somehow get them in where I'm getting the lowest one to get that pause, cool. But I am not going to force that. And here we go. I'm feeling really good about this right now. This is going great. I remember this. I was not landing my SP1 parry stuns, which was why I died the first time I fought this boss, you know, like half a season ago. And I missed it again too, but I was like, I can't let that cause me to get out of my flow. I know what I'm supposed to do here. So here we go. I've got none. There we go. I got a nice parry. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. And I'm doing that because it is helping me regen on block, okay? That's one of the main reasons that is so important, especially for a fight like this. We got that backdraft intercept that I told you. Like, I will do it if the opportunity presents. Well, it did. We got it. I gotta land a parry though. I missed that one too. He's getting close to his neutronium. I know he is. So I really need to get up that heal back. It's gotta happen. And we're purposely going to our SP2s because we're getting up the soul barb. Some of you asked, like, why not the SP1 nullify? For a couple reasons, but one of the biggest ones is that Maestro is actually incinerated immune. So that back and forth play between the SP1 and the SP2 isn't going to work for me like I would hope. But right about here, and I got another nice little intercept. I was pretty proud of that one because that one just kind of happened. I didn't have to set that up. It just was the flow of the fight. And I know the health bars look close, but I knew I had it. I was very confident going into the fight anyway. Then when I saw it was a rank 2, I felt even more confidenter. And then at this point, I knew I had him. His neutronium was slowing down. We had the soul barbs up. He's got a ton of buffs on his soul barbs. I'm doing a ton of damage. And you can see, like I said, I remembered around that point being like, he dead. He doesn't know it yet, but he dead. And so we got it. We got it with Kushala. Look at that bike. I'm starting to grow to even like that bike. My Kushala rides a horse. It's amazing. But I'm starting to like this Kushala too on that bike. She looks good on it. She makes that bike look good. And then, you know, my alliance, we're just having fun, right? We got we got Rye, Beans. Like, so it's just fun. Like this is the camaraderie and fun that I talk about coming with war. And of course, we're having a great time in the line chat. Now, here's where the war stands. As I record this video in my evening, I'll get it out as soon as I possibly can. This is where the war stands. In fact, I think poor Loki has taken a few fights since, and they do have one death. They're phenomenal. They're great. I am not going to pray or hope for them to have a death. But I will cheer on my defenders, okay? These are friends, and of course, everyone wants to win. I'm sure they want to win too. I wish them the best of luck. I did it in the chat, and I know they know that I mean it. I fought for years alongside many of them, and they know how I am about these things. So best of luck to them. SSX did phenomenally. And that'll all be played, and we'll see more in the morning. So I'll probably go to bed not knowing who won. And I'm sure maybe one of those content creators will show the For Loki side, and then make sure you check out all the various content creators on the SSX side. So many awesome YouTubers dropping all that knowledge, entertaining us. Let's go and take a quick look at the season stats. Okay, these are the season stats is at the end, right? We just don't know our final record. Hopefully it's 7-5, which would secure us Masters. Potentially, you think even top 10, but I think a couple of things would have to happen there. 55 kills in season 2 deaths. I'm very, very happy with that ratio. Very comfortable, very happy. Feel like I contributed. Clearly took a lot of tough fights. So I feel good. I feel great about that. Used 9 total champions. The diversity of my roster, getting to bring them in, and it wasn't one champion dominated. America took a massive lead, but Absorbing Man, Iron Man, Soccer, and then even Photon really came back strong there, which was cool. 2 boss solos with my girl Kushala. Honestly, it could not feel better on a very personal and personal note there. Like, having her come in, be as good as she is in this game, as fun as she is in this game, and then being able to use her to solo 2 bosses for what I consider to be literally the newest, toughest defender in the game there with Maestro. It's a very tough fight that can go sideways fast. Got the current streak back up to 15. Had a couple deaths, right? We talked about those. We've done those in the videos. Absorbing Man, Iron Man, Sakura, Photon, Kate, Kushala, Spork, and CGR, some of the best champions in the game. I'm glad I've got them ranked up. They're great at war. They're great at battlegrounds. They're great at questioning. They're great all around. Thank you so much for watching. I hope your season has gone phenomenally, and I could not be more proud and grateful for the wonderful planning and my alliance mates at SSX. We will catch you all very, very soon.